Hello, I'm Alan Davies. You're listening to the Tuesday Club. This is the Arsenal podcast, and I've got Ian Stone with me this morning. How are you, Ian?
Al, I'm not as good as I was about 7 o'clock yesterday evening.
No?
No, well,
You're
because...
wearing quite a smart shirt. Have you come in from a night out?
Yes, I've been out all evening. That's what I do.
A little bit unbuttoned, revealing a necklace.
Yeah, well, I like a bit of bling. I am the Kanye West of the podcast. No, I haven't. I just put it on. I just thought I'd put a shirt. I like smarten up.
Necklace or
No, the shirt.
Is that a necklace or is it some sort of a tag, like a homing device? Or
I'm not generally allowed out the house.
You're not allowed out of the
after
house.
9 o'clock.
Ty Popoola is here.
He has actually got what can only be called a manacle on his arm as
bracelet
well.
and a necklace.
Bit of jewellery. Is that all right? I'm sorry.
Bit of bling. Hello, Alan.
Tayo's wearing a woolly hat under his headphones, for which there's absolutely no excuse. We're indoors, see.
We are
with
indoors.
Central heating.
Take the sunglasses off too.
Sometimes you just got to stay real.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Keeping it real. Who knows? Who knows?
I don't
No,
know.
no.
Tayo keeps it real. We're artificial, apparently. We're not.
So I feel a little bit. I haven't got a hat or jewellery, so I'm a little underdressed.
Do you want to borrow some? I've got
No,
some.
I'm all right,
No, you're right.
I'm all right. Now, what's happened? We're top of the league.
It's over.
So
Yeah.
Top. Is it over? Oh no! I thought it was back on.
After the calamitous loss last night. I mean, we did lose, right?
I went to the game, by the way.
You went?
What, Southampton yesterday?
I went to St Mary's.
We are putting in the hours, aren't we?
We are
the three of us?
represented at most fixtures currently.
I was up at
actually.
Villa actually.
You were up at Villa. Well,
So
let's
was
start at Villa because we haven't podcast since we beat Spurs in the cup. Oh, Santi's first. He scored. Has he scored in every game?
5 goals in 5 games, isn't it?
Spurs. He scored against
Fulham.
Scored both of them
Coventry.
against.
He scored 2 against Fulham, and he scored again last night at St Mary's. He's on a bit of a scoring run.
Doing very, very
He's
nice.
going to be this year's Freddie.
Now, you went to Villa Park and sat in the Holt End.
I sat in the whole end with Frank. Hello, Frank, friend of the podcast.
Frank's
and
Tyre's old teacher from his posh private school that he went to where they had to wear bloomers.
he did actually. Stoney did.
Frank,
Stoney asked
Frank
him
has
again.
got a photograph. And Frank, if you're listening, the price for that photo is going up, but we are still prepared to meet it.
I'm prepared to sell this jewellery.
I reckon we could probably crowdfund on the internet and get quite a lot of money. From our freeloading
Pound
vermin.
each. You're not paying for the podcast.
You
Pay for the
freeloading
photos.
scum. If you could crowdfund for, the funds would go to the school team. Imagine the good you could do.
For another poor, small black kid from South London.
Yeah,
to
a
go
scholarship.
Back to yeah.
The Ty Popoola Bloomers scholarship.
It's no,
Imagine the inspiration you'd be to so many children from the rough side of the
What
tracks.
size bloomers were they on your little legs?
They were shorts.
if this child starves somewhere and doesn't get this because this photo doesn't see the light of day.
What was the name of the school?
It's called Christ Hospital.
Christ Hospital, and it's in Sussex.
Yes, in
Yeah.
Sussex. Yeah.
Hello, any listeners down there, Christ Hospital,
There's
Sussex?
There's a few.
If you can supply a pair of the bloomers, we might hold him down and put them on now
They won't.
and get a photo
won't.
of
There
that.
might be. Isn't there a
bloomers.
school? Isn't there one of those school photos when there's a whole lot, sort of line of you?
Yeah, but I'm blacked out. Quite literally. In every single one of them, I've marked it.
I imagine you being the kid who starts at one end and then runs around the other
Runs
end
around
to
the
be
other
in
end.
it twice. Who's one of those kids?
Yeah, you should nail. Yeah, you nailed me right there.
Got you.
Yeah, I was so quick. I went from one end to the other. No, but I was in the
But
whole
what
end.
subject did Frank teach?
Frank was my German teacher.
German.
Yeah, very good German teacher.
He does still speaks a bit of German. He said.
Does he? That's rare. Do
What?
you-
No,
Not
I-
in Germany.
No, not well. No, from him. I haven't heard him say anything.
I know
German.
me neither.
Why would you? None of you would know.
Well,
what
I
was
don't
gonna
know. I
say.
do remember when Simon used to come, he learned a phrase in Dutch.
And said it often.
And to shout at Dennis. So when Dennis came down to our wing, he would suddenly go, "Das Frieden Klappedaler!" or something like that. No one knew what he was talking about.
Nor did Dennis.
Dennis turned around and said, "So you never say that about my sister again."
Well, no,
Yeah, he
we
did.
were up there with a couple of the German villains. As a
High up in the whole end.
no, we were just right behind the goal, and I've never been under one of those flags before, like the big kind of
Passing overhead type flag.
Yeah. So very claustrophobic.
Did we not have one of those in the Stade de France 2006?
Did we have one? No, I remember
I vaguely
Barcelona
remember.
had one.
I vaguely remember something being passed over my head.
Yeah.
Might have been a child.
spliff.
Yeah. Might have been a spliff as
Can
well.
I tell you my Holt End experience, which was 1983 Cup semi-final, Arsenal-Manchester United, and I stood right at the back of the Holt End, and nearly at half-time, people started coming towards me, loads of blokes. I thought, what's going on? And I realised that what happens is, on the Holt End of those days, is you go up the back for a piss.
And you were standing.
And I was standing at the back.
in the urinal.
I was standing in the urinal. I was actually in the urinal.
You
I was,
finished it,
I was
mate.
on the last step of the Holt End with I don't know how many, 18,000 people or something packed in front of me. It's quite a view. And then suddenly I was standing in rivers of piss.
Lovely.
Yeah, we lost the game.
We've been.
2-1.
I just reminded me. We've been to the. We went up there in 2004 for that rubbish.
We lost another semi-final to Man United.
lost a few.
United game. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the one.
Tend
that
to beat
we
them
all
in
went up.
finals though, so that's
It's all right.
a good thing.
I was,
no,
in
it's
the
one
away,
thing-
I was in the away end. I was in the away end at Villa.
For what one?
For Villa. I was.
Oh, we do go to that
I
as
went
well.
Yeah, no, we met up. We met up for a meal beforehand, and
Yeah,
then
that's
he
a
went off.
Meal.
That's-
A meal in Birmingham.
Lovely it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Was it Nando's?
we were in the
So
bar and
Adnan
arms.
Januzaj there with a young woman.
Yeah, very good time. Very good time in the bar and arms. Stoney then tried to drive the price up for this photo already. So I got back to the table. They were discussing
It's
it.
important. We want to see
We'll
the
have to
photo.
It's not going to happen.
eventually.
But no, one
Eventually
thing
it will
about
the thing is, it will be crowdfunded.
it won't happen. We've done all right so far. One thing about being in the whole
Great
end,
idea.
It's not. It's a terrible idea.
Wait,
Stoney.
what's so embarrassing about this photo?
When you see it,
Why
you'll
would
know.
you want to deprive a young black child of a good
of an education. Do you not care for your people?
Racist. Something
Come back to
racist
that.
has happened. I don't know what. Can't put my finger
It's
on it.
every week. Every week.
I'll tell you one.
I was on the telly. I was on the telly at the Villa game. I was right in the corner at the front, and Bakary Sandia is walking towards us to take a throw, and there's only 2 minutes to go, and I'm waving my arms, going, "Take your time, Bakary. Take your time." I
No,
looked
Stoney, you were
on
waving
the
your
telly.
arms, going, "Look at me, look at me."
No. I'm
I
on
know
telly.
you,
Stoney.
What happened in the Villa game? I can't even remember.
Well, we were
We were cruising.
Oh, we were 2 up in the first half. Now,
Yeah.
Jack Wilshere scored.
Jack Wilshere scored a lovely
Great
goal,
goal.
and then he
It was
put,
the pass from Ozil to Monreal running on. That was the perfect weight of pass. Do you just go, well, he couldn't have passed that any
He
better?
will open you up like a
It's
can
like what
of
you.
sardines.
It's like what Wright used to say about Dennis. He'd put the ball where you were supposed to be, and it was up to you whether you got there or not.
All Monreal had to do was just run onto it and square it.
It arrives at the moment you're arriving
There
there.
it is.
And
It was a
invites you.
perfect
And it was
pass.
on his left foot. It was a sumptuous pass.
Yeah.
And
He squared
he
it.
squared it actually for Giroud, didn't he? But
Actually, I don't know. Did he?
so
Yeah.
so he says. Jack gave Giroud a shout, and
And then me and the Hornet,
Took it and
me and
rolled
the
it in.
Hornet sat very still in the whole end at that time. Basically, it went sort of Frank, me and the Hornet, right? And then I've never heard so many. I won't do the accents, I can't, but just Cockney wankers. Basically, that's what we. Every other phrase, the geezers behind me were going on about those effing Cockney,
wanker.
effing Cockney wankies.
And we're
sit
singing.
down.
We're singing. Your ground's too big for you.
And they were going, "Where were you when you were shit?" And I was kind of going to turn around and point out that we never
haven't
have
been
been.
shit for a
Oh,
while.
it's
We haven't
been
been for a very
I've
long
actually
time,
forgotten when we were shit.
Villa
It's been
Park.
So long.
Villa Park. They sit in sullen silence. So 75 minutes. They were not happy, and then they scored.
They're
And then
better
the
than they are, don't they? That's the trouble with
I
them.
don't think they do now. I think they sort of realise.
Benteke diving header late on caused a bit of a fuss.
Mertesacker was dug
not
out.
happy.
He dug out Cazorla for giving the ball away. I mean, we were cruising, and then
Because all of had just played the ball back, and it would have been cleared, and we'd have been all right. But then he tried to do something clever, gave it away, crossed for the goal, and suddenly we're under
and then
pressure.
it was the whole siege thing again. The whole stand rose as
Yeah.
one, and just get.
But we held on all right.
Benteke had another chance as well, which he kind of sort of patted down to
Straight into Chesney's arms.
But apart from that, then we sort of did the same as Newcastle again. You know, like when we're just sort of soaking it up again.
Closed it out.
Mertesacker and Koscielny were brilliant again that day.
They're good, those two.
Yeah, Mertesacker was epic
But
at Newcastle.
there was a few times in that game where you were just going, that's what we're going to miss with Theo being out, really. There was times in the second half when we sort of sat back, we just didn't seem to have a great deal of pace.
We missed Theo last night at
Yes, we
St
did.
Mary's.
Really
Villa
did.
was my wedding anniversary. That's why I didn't watch it.
Congratulations.
That's why I didn't watch it. Too kind. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, we went out.
Oh,
What did we do? We went to the pictures. I think.
Did
We
you have
had
it?
a sleep.
yeah.
Did you ever...
Had a sleep on your wedding anniversary. I'll just have a little
Did
lie
you ever?
down.
Did you at any point in your wedding anniversary did a slightly nosed up man come and put a flag in front of the
No.
in front of the screen at the cinema?
No. No, I wasn't aware that he was on Class A's when he got the flag out.
He wasn't actually, but I just, Keith will now be on the phone complaining about him being slandered like that.
Keith brought a flag. Keith brought a flag to my wedding, an Arsenal flag, on which he had put photos of me and my new wife.
I think it's an attention to detail you don't get.
It was
nowadays.
a very nice.
It's nice.
It was a
nice gesture.
It was a nice thought, although it didn't look that good on the DJ booth, I must say.
It's a classy
I
touch.
wish he'd actually hung it over the DJ, because he was a miserable bastard.
DJ's arm visible.
What?
Sorry.
400 quid I gave that bloke. Specifically asked him not to play New York, New York. Played it twice. We won 2-0 away to Blackburn Rovers on my wedding day. Henri set up by Fabregas for one of the greatest goals scored in an Arsenal shirt. I don't know if you remember that.
Was that
Henri carried it about 50 yards.
Oh, when he just knocked it inside.
And smashed
Was
it
that your
off the
wedding
bar.
day?
Yeah, that was my wedding
That was
day.
a tough weekend. We had a children's party on the Saturday, and then your wedding on the Sunday. It was a lot. Or possibly the other way around.
Yeah,
I
it was
can't
the other way
remember.
around,
but yeah, it was a lot. It was really a tiring
Anyway,
weekend.
we beat Villa, so that was good. Stayed top. Then what happened after that? We played cup tie, did we? Or then we played Fulham. Santi got a couple of good goals against Fulham.
It was all a bit of a struggle, and then we suddenly were 2-0 up, and you go. Yeah,
We thought we were going to batter them, but they seemed quite well organised. But eventually they succumbed.
They didn't make a chance. They didn't make a chance, did
No,
they?
they
didn't even
looked
get
very,
on.
very poor. In fact, the bottom four now, there's a little bit of a gap emerging, isn't there, with the bottom four? There's a few teams above on 22, 23 points.
Super
and then there's
Tony,
Fulham, West
I can't
Ham,
say it.
Sunderland. And
Super
I know,
Tony
can't say
Pulis.
it.
What a great job he's done
He's
for him.
getting Palace out of trouble. Are we going to beat Palace at the weekend?
It's going to be a very
so.
hard game, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's going to be a lot harder than.
Leading the line.
No, surely not. We got Pulis in front of us, actually, so we should make sure we give him a
Return
welcome.
of the cap.
We should return of the cap.
I think they're doing all right, Palace. I mean, they're doing very, very well.
Shamak will have a
Unreal.
point to prove, which in itself is hilarious. But no,
We've got to beat Palace.
We have to beat Palace now.
We have to beat Palace.
Yeah, we do. We had to.
With a run.
We were saying last night, I went with Rich last night, and we were saying we have to win this game. It's very weird actually going to a game where there are no replays at all. I mean, there's
no replays
There's no replay. They've got a screen.
But
And they
don't
just
show-
run adverts for watches and the away kit.
Well, apparently
they don't even really actually put the time or the score up.
It's
Every
weird at
every
Villa.
2 minutes they do that.
Villa, they did. I
Just
mean,
put
does
the
this happen?
time. How many minutes are gone and what?
They don't even tell you
that's
the
all-
time.
Every now and then they'll show it, and then it'll go away again. There'll be another
Do they-
advert for a watch.
But did they show Southampton's goal?
The irony of showing you an advert for a watch when all you want to know is the time. If they showed you an advert for a watch
lost on
which had the time on it, I might even buy the watch.
But did they show the Southampton goals again?
They didn't show anything.
It's a bit
Was
ridiculous.
it Villa? They showed
Rubbish. What's the point of having a screen?
They showed Villa highlights, of which there was one in 90 minutes.
They didn't show the Arsenal highlights.
anything.
They didn't show
But
the Arsenal
at all.
goal.
No, but they also show the game as the game's going on, and you're thinking, I don't need that. I'm watching a game.
Not,
the
it's
game's
not
happening.
the O2, I can see it.
Yeah, quite. Yeah, sorry, it's not the same. It's not the same. No, but they don't show the whole highlights of the Arsenal game.
Now, last night,
so there weren't many highlights.
We
of Villa.
walked from the ground, and I'd like to say to Merrill Shoes that your Gore-Tex waterproof outdoor walking shoes are not waterproof. My feet were soaking wet. Rich stopped for a banana split halfway to the ground, which is a first.
What are you,
January,
12?
pouring with rain. He goes, ice cream parlour. He was really matter of fact and quite serious about it. And he ate a banana split without us cracking a smile.
Good for him.
And honestly, it was like an addiction being sated. I don't know what's going on there.
I think
I've
he
not
knows.
seen this.
He
And you know
knows
what
that-
they do in that shop? It's a I can't remember what it's
What
called.
do they do?
It's called gelato sprinkles or something in Southampton. Hello to all the teenagers working there. They serve you a banana with banana-flavoured ice cream that is blue in it. He said, "Do you want one of these?" I said, "No, I do not want one of those. What are you eating? What are you putting in
Blue
yourself?"
banana flavoured ice cream.
Yeah, do you know what I took? Because how middle class I am. Pimento olives and manchego cheese.
Absolutely.
What? Pimento.
You
on-
took it with you.
It's a snack pack from Sainsbury's. Oh, mate, honestly, I could eat it all day.
I was going to say you've changed, but you haven't.
I haven't
have you?
changed. I've always liked
You're
olives.
always like that.
This is why the Villa fans were calling us Cockney Mason.
Yeah, this very thing. They've never even seen a pimento
had
olive. at Villa
Honestly,
Park.
I don't know why I don't just move to Spain. Because there, they wouldn't, if you were eating manchego cheese, they wouldn't bat an eyelid.
Pimento olives and
But on the way
manchego
to St.
cheese.
That's what I had at half time.
How far is it to the ground?
It's a little over a mile of pouring rain and grimness through Southampton. And we got to the ground, which looks like the Walker Stadium, or it looks like the Riverside.
All the other
Any
stadiums.
other stadium.
I mean, they all look the same.
They
it's
do.
It's sad, really. They can't build some character.
It's the homogenisation of
It's really
21st
a bit
century.
grim,
yeah.
you know.
It is.
I mean, it's very functional. It works. Every seat is a good view and all of that. But there's not really a home end, you know. So you get this thing where their noisy fans come and park themselves up next to you, and the bloke in front of us is a bald-headed bloke who's just doing the double finger. Both hands giving the finger randomly at Southampton supporters.
Right.
Most of the game.
The away fans are a rum lot, aren't they?
Some of them are a bit angry. But there was a fair bit of singing, but the first half we were woeful.
Terrible.
I mean, we were outplayed.
Awful.
And I couldn't tell, because they don't, on their big screen, they don't use for anything useful. They don't put the teams up. I don't know any of their players. They had an 18-year-old beanpole up front who really looked very, very good. He's really excellent. 18, made his debut against Mertesacker.
Yeah.
Held it up, made good runs.
Missed that sit-out.
He did, but it came to him suddenly, but that was close to 2-0. That would have been bad news.
2-0 would have been... We're not
Monreal smashed it against Davies and it ricocheted.
The thing about Monreal, he's got a really unfortunate face for when he's playing badly. Do you know what I mean? He looks like a mini Peter Crouch. And he looks
too big for his
head. I didn't know you were talking about. I saw that on Twitter. You said it looks like a mini Peter Crouch. I went, who?
When he missed,
who does?
Or when he missed that chance in the second half, which was almost as bad as his sort of first half performance. You know, where it was through.
That
you
was
did
wild.
You wanted a Cazorla or a Podolski. There, I mentioned his name because Arsene doesn't want to.
What happened with Podolski?
On the end of that,
what's going on?
He just doesn't fancy him at the moment.
He scored 2 the other day, albeit against Coventry, but
he likes Serge.
I like Serge as well, but Podolski's a 100 cap German international.
Since the Tottenham game, has Serge really kicked on?
Chamberlain came on and improved things. I have to say, though, that Luke Shaw is a proper handful.
Well, we know that.
At fullback.
Yeah.
I mean, he really caught the eye, not just with his general play where he's only 18.
Yeah.
Christ, he's unbelievable. His general play is excellent positional play and physique and running power and all that. But his left foot is superb. His passing is absolutely superb.
Well, no,
his passes down there. We were sitting. No one was sitting, obviously. We were leaning against their seat.
Nobody sits
kind of looking right down the left touchline, looking right down that touchline. So he hits these balls that swerve down the line for whoever's making a run down that way, whether it's Davis or Rodriguez or whoever's. And then that was how they created the second goal with a ball down that caught Sanya out. No one went with Lallana, and it was cut back, and he was on his own in the box, which is criminal.
They're not a bad team.
The cross he put into the far post. I thought Monreal was climbed on, actually. That was right in front of us, and I thought Fonte was climbing on Monreal. Monreal was really unhappy about it. But on the other end, the ball's in the air for a long time. You've got to jump.
Get a nudge
in.
Attack it a little bit.
But
they're a half-decent team, Southampton. I mean, they really are. And they beat.
Very good team.
You know what?
It's now the Maurizio Pochettino game. I'm afraid it's no longer the David Moyes game.
Well, yeah.
Because the blokes organise them and they pass it so well. Their academy is extraordinary.
They're bringing a lot of players through. They really are.
They lost 3-0 at home to Chelsea, and that's the trouble.
They also gave us a shilling at home, which we got away with.
Yeah, we got a lucky break there, didn't we, with Boric's error.
Arsene Wenger said they were the best team that've been at Emirates this year. So, they're
the thing about...
We've done all right to get 4 points.
You talk about Luke Shaw, right? You talk about Luke Shaw and whether Monreal was climbed on or not. The sort of championship kind of winning criterion is that, does that happen if you have a better player in that position, for example? So, Arsene would never go for Luke Shaw, for example, because he'll say...
He's got Gibbs.
Because it'll kill Gibbs. He's got Monreal.
Gibbs is excellent.
Gibbs is a good player.
His passing's excellent.
But
Would you have Luke Shaw over Gibbs? And are those the kind of conversations that... Because those are the kind of conversations that
Mourinho has. No, because the money you would have to spend to get Shaw in, is a waste of money when you've already got Gibbs.
We've got 150 million quid we can spend.
How did you feel at the time? How did you feel at the time when George Graham replaced Lukic with Seaman?
We were surprised until we saw Seaman
play.
Well,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Luke Shaw's a better player than Kieran Gibbs.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think
if you spend £30 million on every position in the team to replace every player with a better
Man
player,
you are.
You will bankrupt the club and probably be 2 points better off. I mean, Shaw is really not much better than Gibbs. I don't even know if he is better than Gibbs.
But I think the difference this year is marginal, and the margins. If we're going to spend some money in the next 3 days,
what I'm asking.
I'm really surprised if you seriously think that signing Luke Shaw is going to improve us.
No, I'm not saying it. We're just arguing.
Gibbs is an excellent.
He is an excellent.
But tell you what's contentious is Monreal keeping his place ahead of Gibbs.
Yeah.
But Monreal the thing is, he had a decent game. He got beaten in the air at the far post, and it was annoying. Chesney was weak on it as well, low down at the post. I think he should have kept it out. So it was not a good goal. It wasn't good to let the ball come in the first place. And we were in a mess in that half. And the biggest problem we had, if you're talking about signing someone for a lot of money now, I would sign Cabaye in a heartbeat. I would go to Newcastle now with 20 million quid to get Cabaye, because I'm telling you now, he is a much better player than Flamini or Arteta. Much as I like them both, and much as they give a huge amount in the shirt, Cabaye gives you more. Gives you more goals and he gives you more assists. He's an outstanding player. So that is the player I would buy, particularly if it's true that Ramsey is 6 weeks further down the line.
4 to 6 weeks.
The Cabaye ship has sailed. He's already on the
on the way.
He's on the way
as
to
we talk.
PSG.
As we speak,
Which is a real shame, you know. That's a real
It's a shame that we went in with it for 10 million with him.
Too
instead.
early.
You know,
Too early.
do you know
But we
what I
are
mean?
going to get Draxler in the next few days.
Well, that would be
Is
excellent.
what
Is this-
We do
is
I'm
this-
need
hearing.
From a mechanic?
Apparently,
or-
there's an offer been put in.
It keeps rumbling along
It's
this
an
way.
offer.
It won't
and-
go away.
Yeah, because we need a bit of backup. Losing Walcott and losing Ramsey for a few
You know what
weeks.
makes me think it might happen is because no one else is interested. And that's the only time when Wenger goes after anyone. He absolutely will not bid against anyone.
When was the last time we beat someone to? Well, I guess you could say Ramsey, but
What,
that doesn't
Ozil?
count. When was it? No, when was, yeah, but no one else went in for. No one went in for Ozil.
Unbelievably.
I know.
It was
but
offered
when was the
to
last
Manchester
time
United.
when was the last time we beat anyone to a signing?
Well, we don't.
Well, I don't know, really. I mean, we
It's
pick
not the way.
people up who are on on people's radar. You know, Walcott wasn't a secret. Chamberlain wasn't a secret. And we went and got them. And Chamberlain is... We're going to need him in central midfield. I mean,
gonna need him
when watching him play in the commentary game, I thought he's a better player than... Arteta and Flamini I like. They've got a lot of experience. They work incredibly hard.
But they're limited, though,
They're
aren't
a
they?
little bit limited.
They're limited.
Arteta's coming out from injury.
Wilshire's suddenly been out of the team. He was running the show the last few
We
games.
need Jack. And
So what was wrong with Jay? Is an injury?
slight ankle knock, but the other ankle. The other.
Same old thing about managing his
But
problems.
it's the other
he got-
ankle, though, isn't it? It's not. It's
He
not
got
a bad
clattered.
one.
He got clattered against Coventry,
He
didn't
did.
he?
Yeah, but he'll be back.
But look, Arteta's coming back from injury. He had a bit
Well,
of a he had a bit rusty one yesterday.
Yeah, played us. I don't know. It was Fontaine and Schneiderlin, I think, in midfield. You couldn't really see who was playing. They all look the same as Southampton players. All competent, all know what they're doing, very cohesive.
they move about very
and
nicely.
just sharper.
Yeah, they were
just
better.
sharper. There was some.
We were late though, weren't we? For the
turned up
game.
late or something.
Yeah, they were stuck in traffic on the way to Southampton. It's a nightmare going
I
down there.
suddenly thought. I suddenly thought actually, yeah, the Welshies were late. They were really hacked off. Took them an hour and 37 minutes from Winchester.
Is that right?
The South Wales.
An hour and 30.
South Wales Supporters Club, of which I remember. This is how I get in away games. So I'm a loyal member of the Arsenal Supporters Club, South Wales. And South
Hour
West.
and 30.
I get in because I've got a Welsh surname. Yeah, they got stuck in Winchester.
Oh, that's terrible.
There was seriously bad traffic in the Southampton area, and the Arsenal coach was late.
Yeah.
So they're blaming that for being crap in the first half.
Well,
It's no excuse.
they didn't get a warm up or something. What, they just get off the bus and get
You've
changed
got to
on
be
there?
on your toes, though. I mean, you've got to be sharper. You've got to move the ball more quickly. The game slowed down when we got it and speeded up when they got it. That sums it up.
That's not good.
It's not good. We need to be on our toe. We miss Wilshere badly.
Could
We
be
miss
the
Ramsey
point.
badly.
Could be the point that wins us the title. Can
It
we
might
just?
be. I
Can
hope.
we
It's
just
a good
maybe?
point. It's a good point, but
There's been too much negativity.
no, it's not about negativity. I'm not being negative about the point.
Not
It was
by
a good
you.
point. But my feeling is we could improve by signing Cabaye. We could improve by signing Draxler if he can play any game.
Oh, we need to make
we
signings.
This is an opportunity here. We do need to strengthen, I think.
Yeah.
And this is
week.
also. I mean,
Or it could slip badly away from us in the next fortnight.
It is a good point,
Well,
and
the next
so on.
month and a
It could be
half.
a good point, but another point is that I think one of the reasons why the reaction has been as it has been is because it's been coming, because we haven't been playing that well. We've been winning, sure, and it might seem churlish, but we haven't been playing that well.
Won
We've been
7 or 8 on the bounce, and the thing is about leading when you've got a runaway train behind you is it's frightening, and people get jumpy, and you just can't panic. You just have to win your games. Last night was hard, especially when Flamini went in like what was a rash tackle. 4-match ban now.
4-match ban.
He's out for 4 games. Ramsey's out for, I don't know, 4, 6, 8 games. I don't know.
We were just watching the.
We
Flamini's
need a
done that
central
before.
midfielder in
And
there, I
4
think.
difficult games as well, or 5 difficult games.
There is no way we'll buy. I mean, he'll buy a.
They can't buy another midfielder.
He won't buy another midfielder.
How many midfielders can we have?
No, so Chamberlain's going to have to go in there and play some games, and Jack's going to have to play some games, and Arteta's playing some
Well, they're
games.
going to have to step up.
And
You
they're
know,
all, well, I mean, I love the Ox. I love him. He hit one ball against Coventry where he suddenly turned around the centre mid and pinged it with his instep across the left wing. I thought this bloke's got everything. He's got everything in the game.
Arsene Wenger said the two of them could play together for England.
Oh, they
He
will.
said, the Ox and Wilshere.
They already should
central,
be.
Central
They
midfield.
already should be our England's midfield. I've no doubt about
Fantastic.
that. Absolutely.
So I just think, you know what, I'm not saying you've been negative, but there has been a bit of negativity. I'm thinking we're still top. Spurs have got Man City got to go to Tottenham. I'd like to think that. I'm just looking for the positives. We got to cheer them on tonight.
Tottenham are already lying down. You know when they practiced for
have won-
tonight's game? When they were in bed last night.
Spurs have won 5 out of 6 games.
Those waiters.
When have they ever done us a favour?
When have they ever done us a favour?
Sergio Aguero.
When have we ever done them a
versus
favour?
Michael
Why-
Dawson. Disgust.
You know what? Of course you can come up with 100 reasons.
Boom! Well, that's 5 by half time.
There was one. There was one.
They're not
nugget.
so good away, Man City. They're not so good away.
We need Man City to balls up somewhere. They might as well balls
Listen, there
up
was
at
one.
Tottenham.
There was one nugget in a interview. There was an interview written by Adepaymore's PR clearly yesterday in the Guardian, right? But the one nugget in all of that was that he had an argument in Hong Kong airport with AVB after AVB had said that Michael Dawson was the club's best defender. So I don't really like sticking up for Adepaymour at any point.
Imagine him towering over AVB.
He had a point there, didn't he? He was like, "What?
Yeah. And then
What do you say?"
We're in trouble. Well,
So,
I
yeah,
hope that
Negredo
Tottenham beat
versus
Man
Dawson.
City.
Of
How
course we
about that?
do.
How
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah.
I actually said it out loud.
No,
I hope
fair enough.
Tottenham win
We
a
all
game.
hope that Tottenham win
I don't mean
against
that.
Man City.
Truthfully, in my heart,
You do
I hope
mean
they
it.
When
get
it was
pounded.
No,
Twice.
you don't.
Yes, I do. I always want them to lose. Don't you understand?
Yeah,
I hate them.
I know you hate them, but this is, you know what? In the end, you have to put that aside.
5. I want 5. 9.
If they're losing 3-0 at half time, then I
One of the
want
worst
5.
days of my life
No,
was
if
when
they-
they beat Bristol Rovers 9-0 when I was a kid. I was gutted about that. Conor Lee got 4.
You must have had
No,
worse days than that.
9. You've never got 9. When have you ever got 9? Have you never scored 9? Bristol Rovers. You're in the wrong league. 9-0. 9-0. That's what I grew up with.
Right, but you really don't want them to get a point this
This
evening?
isn't the important thing. Is yes, I want. You've got to drop points somewhere. The important thing is
Somewhere.
we beat Palace, right? And then coming up soon is Chelsea, Man City. Now this is where we need a draw.
Yeah.
We need a draw there.
Yeah.
We need Big Sam to pull some miracle at the bridge tonight.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. There's more
we need
chance
them
of
to
Spurs
drop
beating Man
points
City.
these teams, you know, because
West
there is
Ham-
a feeling that we're a little bit.
West Ham are
on
going to
a
get
downward-
slaughtered tonight.
West Ham may well get beaten by more than one.
It's looking like 3 out of 4 at the bottom at the moment. I mean, there's always one that comes down, isn't there?
Stoke.
Stoke are going that way. Are they? Swansea are going that way till they won last night.
No, it's Hull, I think, could be.
No,
Hull, we're out of it.
Hull
Now
are gonna
suddenly they're level with Palace.
That's because of Super Tony.
quite-
No, it doesn't come out.
It doesn't come out. You can't finish it. You can't finish
tried
it.
twice.
Super Tony Super Tony
Well, they won 5 out of 7, haven't they? 1-0 or something.
Yeah, they always win 1-0.
They're
They're hard to beat.
hard to beat, and
God,
Shamak-
Sunday.
It's going to be tense. I'm telling you, it's going to be tense on
I
Sunday.
tell you what, last 20 minutes, when Southampton were tiring because they gave a lot to hold us, they gave a lot. Ozil was unbelievable. Ozil was honestly
Fancied
tearing them apart.
But that's what Flamini's
And
an
that
idiot.
was
then.
when we missed
We would have won with
Theo.
We would have won if Firmino stayed.
Yeah,
There
bring
was
Theo.
somebody who
Yeah.
could make a little, and I think Draxler's going to love it. Somebody to make a little run and to get in. You know, Ozil just couldn't find anyone to set up, but he was making amazing runs. I don't know how he carries the ball at speed with people chasing him down and never lose it.
That's the key.
He's
right? That's the key,
untackleable.
carrying it at speed.
Flat out, he was running towards us, flat out,
quick as
a
well,
foot
isn't he?
away from the
With the-
touchline
with
in
the
the
ball.
pouring rain off in the 75th minute.
It's a stunning football.
2 people alongside him. And he's still, he's going to stop and check back on his outside of his
And he
left
still
foot, and
does
they
it.
can't do anything
He
about it.
skipped over a few tackles like that, didn't
There
he?
was a lovely moment, actually. I love him so much. There was a lovely moment when he sets up Podolski in the Coventry game. When he receives the ball
Oh,
in the
love
centre
that
of the field,
pass.
the first thing he does is sell a dummy. He kills it. Oh, first touch is amazing. He sees there's a bloke in front. He sells a massive dummy to stop the bloke in his tracks, and then decides what he's going to do.
Switches it the other way, and he knew Podolski was
Puts it
coming
on
up.
Podolski's left foot,
Yeah.
and he does all that in a quarter of a second.
More Germans. That's what we need.
I'd love it if
They're bloody good.
just for a
They're
laugh.
really
Played it
good.
for a while.
Just for a laugh, if Draxler's agent goes, yeah, I'll come, but you can't start me on the left wing for 5 games. I also wouldn't know what to do. Every single player who starts with us starts on the left wing.
Well, he will. He will play on the left wing. That's
And
where he
play all
plays.
across
That's what
the
I put him
front.
first.
Go everywhere. He's not fit anyway, is he? The kid at the
Draxler?
moment, Dracula. Is he not
What?
fit?
Well, hasn't stopped us buying people before. Sunoko's still there, chugging away. He's back in
Sunoco.
training. He's back
Is
in
he?
training, isn't he, Sunoco?
He's back for the easy running.
Listen, maybe he'll be the one.
But listen, can we pull?
I don't know.
Can we
I
pull some
don't
more
even
scorn on
recognise him.
Flamini for that tackle because it was a bad tackle.
It was a
And
bad tackle. He has this habit
He's
of
got his-
putting both feet in, doesn't he?
He's done it before. You showed us that one a few years ago
Yeah.
from Milan against
Milan at Spurs.
Spurs.
He went in pretty violently, although I did love that. in
What,
the
against Tottenham?
Spurs
game when he
Tottenham
came
in
on.
the beginning of the
That wasn't
season.
2-footed though, was it? That was just
It was a
violent. It was different.
It was just it was
Can't do
casual
that,
assault.
Can you? You
Can't
just
do it.
can't
you
do
can't.
it. And now he's banned for 4 games.
It's a pain.
Which
4
means
games.
which means Arteta can't ease his way back in, having been out for as long as he has.
So
been,
that is
you
the
know?
4 games. It's Palace, then Liverpool twice, and Man United.
Nothing
Yeah.
much. It's good to see that everyone's back now at United, just in time for us.
What is Mourinho doing? That has wound me right up.
The Mata thing?
Selling Mata to them. They're down. They're down. They're really struggling. And
They're
then
on
suddenly
their knees.
they're on their knees.
Don't
and
give him a hand up.
I just can't believe he's done that. Is he still want
Yes,
the Man
you
United
can.
job? Is that what he wants? He wants the Man United job. Look, I'm selling Mata, only I'm going to be manager in a couple of years. When Moyes inevitably ballses up, I'll take over and I'll have half my team there by then. I'm so pissed off with him for doing it. I can't believe he's done it. Because he's let them back in now. Look at them; they're all revived. Robin van Persie's gone. Oh, I'm feeling fit again.
Well, they've only beaten Cardiff, who are really badly
Yeah,
on the
but
side,
it's,
don't they?
you know what? Yeah, you're right, of course, but I still think it's going to be a pain.
What's
When
going on with
they
the
come to
what's
the
going on with the
Emirates.
Rooney PR machine at the moment? It's horrible.
Well, he wants to be king of Manchester or something.
300
like that.
grand a week contract, rumoured, quite strongly.
300 grand a week and a say in transfers.
And captain.
Wayne, would it be
And
all right if we
captain.
buy him? Wayne, Mr. Rooney, you have to call me Mr. Rooney.
John Terry said that as a condition of my next contract, I want to be made manager at the end of it.
That is
The fact
that
even
again.
comes
You
out your
massive
mouth.
full kit wanker.
Is-
You're an absolute full kit wanker.
He's skint apparently. He's skint, isn't he, John Terry? Apparently he's gambling, serious gambling
Better
issues.
start
Serious.
showing
gambling.
people around the training ground.
That's why he was doing it. That's exactly why he was doing it.
For charity.
10 grand cash that he goes straight to Willie Mills and puts
That's
it
why
on
he was doing his
whatever
best
horse.
Avon Barksdale and sending out his parents on the corner.
Avon Barksdale. I was trying to remember that name the other day when I was talking about Stringer Bell. Isn't that frightening? Who was the other kid in the wire? You know, the nice kid who was quite good looking, who ran the corners for a bit and you had potential.
D'Angelo.
Is that his name?
Was it what? D'Angelo.
His mate got killed early doors. I keep thinking he's called Bodie.
Yeah, it was. It is Bodie. Yeah.
Bodie.
Bodie goes in. Well, Bodie goes later. Sorry.
Bodie goes.
Sorry.
later.
Everyone's seen the wire.
Basically, if you haven't seen the wire, hey, everyone dies. Everyone
they?
dies. We're not ruining it. Watch it. Anyway.
I haven't seen it.
It's the best. program
Oh,
ever.
what?
Have you never seen the wire?
Don't stop. Can we not
talked
have
about?
this?
Did we?
What are
Did
you
we not-
doing in life?
Well, I'm watching Breaking Bad and 6 Feet Under and The West Wing and 800 other box sets.
Try the wire.
That-
Do it
They're
to
all
yourself.
good. They're all.
They're
good.
all really
Wire's the
good.
best programme ever.
No, it's not the
Wire
best programme. Breaking
is
Bad
better
is-
than
Oh,
all
it
of
is.
it.
No,
It
it's
is. Well, the Wire like the
Silent
West
Chris,
Wing.
it is.
Silent Chris won't have it. Let's see what Silent Chris thinks is. Breaking Bad? Oh!
Oh, yeah, there's that one as well.
Shout.
See?
Second.
First time
Sopranos.
I've spoken in 3 years. Say The Sopranos.
That's the
And it's a good shout.
He's wearing a wire.
So when we were
face.
doing all that,
Not the face,
when we were doing all that
Anthony.
Harry Redknapp, Avon Barksdale,
I didn't know
stuff,
what you were talking about. I had no idea.
Why are you laughing so much?
Because it was funny just to watch you, thinking I have
You
no
were
idea what they're
laughing
saying.
gas.
I was just watching.
5-0, 5-0.
Avon Barksdale. I wonder who that is.
Omar coming. Oh, the show is fantastic.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it. Anyway, they all die, right? So I don't have to.
You do it, you gosh. They don't all die.
They don't?
No, they don't all
All
die.
right.
Sort
It's
of-
quite a commitment.
although a lot of people do die.
I've got 2 children. It's hard to commit. Everyone's going on about Game of Thrones. I haven't had a chance.
I haven't seen that. That's bollocks. What on earth are they on about?
I don't
As
know.
soon as I know, all I do, right, because this is what I do for a job half my life, I just imagine them all at lunch on the van, queuing up with a buffet with their fake swords.
That rather spoils it.
What are you doing? You're dressing up games. What a 4-year-old does. She likes to dress up as a princess. This is for children.
Did you not do Game of Thrones? They offered it too. That's a big gig.
Would I do it?
Yeah.
Of course I'd do it in a heartbeat. Fake sword and everything. I'd be about as convincing as you, laughing at the wire.
Yeah, I would. With me bling. Can I keep my jewellery on?
Jewelry. Yeah.
So how do you feel about the easy month ahead?
Well, now
Easy 2 months, by
the
the
thing
way.
about the fixtures are one thing, but it's the congestion. It's the 11 days you have to play. At least 3 of them are at home. We have to go away out to Anfield, and that's a difficult fixture at the moment. They're scoring a lot of goals
Saturday
at
game,
home.
Saturday game, innit?
Saturday lunchtime.
And then we got
At least
Man
we
U
have
on
a
Wednesday,
few days. We play Palace. Obviously, we have to win that game.
which is now on a Sunday, by the way.
That's a Sunday
which is annoying.
afternoon. And then we have a few days before we play Liverpool and Anfield.
Liverpool Anfield 12:45. Then Man United Wednesday night.
We need to put in the same performance against Liverpool that we did at the Emirates, because our midfield in that game, well, Ramsey was so good. That's what's He was so good in that game.
Yeah.
He was everywhere in that game.
Made-
His
made-
numbers we're forgetting, you know. He had more touches of the ball than any other player in the Premier League by a street. You know, like 1,200 and the next was 900 or something, you know. And it meant that when Suarez and Sturridge were coming short, because they like to come off their defender and they like to come and play in between midfield and striker positions, you know, that's what they do. And every time they did it, there was Ramsey. I can't remember who played alongside him in midfield in that game. But all of us
Arteta,
were on
wasn't
it. I think it was Arteta, yeah. All of us, they were all on it in that game and they didn't get a look in.
No.
I mean, Suarez did nearly score.
Gerrard didn't see the ball.
No, we massively outplayed them and scored 2 stunning goals, one of them by Ramsey.
They haven't been playing well lately, though, but they played well last night.
Liverpool, they
They did
They
play
are
well
good.
last night.
They do score
Sturridge
goals
is coming
at
back.
home.
That's going to be a tough game. There's no doubt about that. But they're all going to be old games, aren't they? All that whole
I tell
run.
you, if we play like we did in the first half last night,
We'll get murdered.
we will be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Because we had an 18-year-old kid up front against last night who seemed to have quite a lot of time and space.
What's that bloke going to do?
Suarez will destroy you if you do that.
But I don't like Arteta and Flamini together.
Well,
I
you
think.
won't
We're
get
not
him.
We're not going to
You
get
won't
him,
get
so
him.
that's all right.
It'll be Wilshere in there, and I'd like to see Chamberlain starting. I like Serge. But he's not always sure where to go. He's a kid.
He's a kid now.
And you look around, you look at City and Chelsea, they're not carrying any kids. You know, he's had a run of games which has been useful, but it's time. I mean, Chamberlain's not exactly a veteran, is he? But it's time to bring a bit more Podolski, a bit more Chamberlain.
Even Chelsea bought that holding player, Matic, and he looked like
bought him back.
Whatever, 21 million quid, and he looks like a great player. He looks ready to go, and that's what you've got to buy, that sort of talent at this point, you know. And he did it early in the transfer window. He got it out of the way,
So we got Palace, Liverpool, Man United, Liverpool. Is that right?
and then
Man
Bayern
United,
Munich.
and then we play Liverpool. So, of those 4 matches, which 2 do you want to win the most?
The league games.
Yeah, T?
Oh. Yeah, the league games. No, I fancy
The FA Cup would be nice.
I fancy Bayern Munich.
But-
I want to beat Bayern Munich.
I fancy Bayern Munich.
I'd
Bayern
love
Munich
to
and
beat
Man
Bayern
United.
Knock
It's got to be
them
Man
out,
United.
Fluke your way through to the final.
To the quarter final. Can I just point out?
I never know your luck. Win the European
Why?
Cup.
So you're just leading us down this path, so you can just go. No, that's rubbish.
One European Cup, European Cup, European
It'd be
I'd
nice.
love to win the European
I'm
Cup.
sick of hearing
I
that.
would love to win the European Cup, but I think we have to be realistic.
We are top of the league.
You've got to win a
We are
league.
top of the league.
If
Let's just.
you've got to win the league
that.
games, but the thing is that
Why 2?
all this
Why
stuff
not
about
3?
all the stuff about the magic.
Why
of the,
not 3 out of 4?
all
Why
the
do you
stuff about the
suddenly-
magic of the cup and all of that.
2 and a
Right?
draw.
You're forced. You
You
can
stop
see
saying
why
that.
you're forced to make these. You see why you're forced to make these decisions.
What's
though,
going to
right?
happen in the FA Cup? Are we gonna,
What,
who are we
what
gonna
side
pick?
are we going? What side are we? Yeah, exactly. What side are we going to put out against?
Just
them?
play our first team
Fabianski, Jenkinson, Vermaelen.
They'll all play.
Bentner.
Monreal play.
against Liverpool.
It will happen.
And Liverpool are going to put out
We've
their
got
first.
Bayern Munich, mate, 3 days later.
Yeah, but you know what we did last year? We lost to Blackburn in the FA Cup by putting out a second
We
team.
will quite possibly lose to Liverpool at the Emirates in the FA Cup. It's quite possible.
FA Cup is a chance of a trophy this year.
Arsenal would take a win over Bayern Munich over a win in the FA Cup without even... There wouldn't be enough time for a heartbeat. In the gap between heartbeats, he's made his mind up about that.
So what 2 do you want then? If we're playing this
I
game,
want to win the league back.
want in the league.
Because when you're top, end of Jan, and
You've
you're
got a
counting the
chance.
games down, and you know you've got an outstanding team, you want to get those points. It was annoying last night.
it's not the end of the world.
It's a bad
still a
first
draw.
half when we went in behind. If we'd just gone in level, we'd have won that game. When we came in, really annoying actually to come out strong and get 2-1, and they were immediately rattled. They worked so hard, Southampton, to get in the lead.
I couldn't believe they
And
were
we
behind.
took it off them like that.
And then
And then let
surrendered
one
it
in.
again so quickly.
It was a
That was
great
the
ball
problem.
down
That's
the
a bit-
wing by Shaw.
very,
and
very
then Lallana
annoying.
wasn't tracked, you know. And if you've got 2 defensive midfielders and they just walk through you, and that's bad news.
But I want
You've
the
got to
league.
enjoy
I
Cazorla
want-
at the minute, though. Let's,
Love Santi. He's a great player.
Right,
scoring
right
goals.
spots.
They were pressing us, and there was no time at all for Giroud, for Cazorla. Ozil couldn't get involved. I don't know what was going on first half. We couldn't get out of our half.
didn't
We
play
couldn't
well at all.
play.
Lovely touch for the big man yesterday for his goal.
I know. You know what? Where I was, I thought that had gone straight in from Sanya. I didn't even realise he'd done that.
Yeah,
But he sort of managed to yank his leg around and clip it in.
Didn't have a great game yesterday, but I'm
did
dying
nothing
for
in the game.
Sanya.
He
I'm
did
dying for Sanya to sign up.
Has
though.
he signed? No.
Nah, he's just he needs to. He needs to. We need to keep this team together because otherwise no one else will leave at the end of the year. Well, if you don't think Podolski's going to go. We
Well,
need
there
to
was
keep
talk
this-
about the
we need
swap,
to keep
wasn't
this
there?
team together.
The swap
Nah,
for
not a
Drexler.
swap. Just get someone
The
else
swap,
in.
what, let Podolski
Go.
join Schalke.
And yeah, because he's not getting the games and he's thinking about the World Cup as well. They're all thinking about the World Cup.
Hasn't he got a tattoo? Who's Schalke's big rivals?
I don't know.
The other one. He's got a tattoo for the other one.
Is he?
Yeah.
Has he?
Yeah,
The other lot. Hamburg.
Where was he? Cologne.
Cologne,
Wasn't
that's
he?
There
is
you
it
go.
Cologne?
I don't think they're Schalke's
Anyway,
rivals, are they?
Anyway,
don't
I want the
even know.
league. I want the league, and they've got 15 games to go. And so I'll take, if you're asking me, I'll take beating Liverpool and Manchester United
Imagine that, back to back. Imagine that.
Got to beat Man United.
at Anfield.
Got to
and
beat
then-
Man United at home.
I love winning.
All right,
Anfield.
out of the
enjoying
four,
that. Yeah.
which one do you really want?
Man United at home.
Out
Man
of
United
the
at home.
4.
Yeah,
Can I
meaning that you win one and you lose the other three.
Oh, easy. No, Man United at home. Van Persie on his knees.
Well, that's really generous of you to offer that.
Van Persie OG.
Van Persie OG off Rooney's head and Rooney.
Ozil nutmeg
cut
Van
opens.
Persie.
Oh,
I'd like to see the
Another
Liverpool-
assist for the Wizard last night.
Another assist. Top assist in Europe, isn't it?
Is it?
Of something.
Can't help
around there.
himself teeing people up.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Considering he's playing terribly, according to everyone. Oh, it's rubbish. This
I know,
season.
last night he was excellent.
Yeah,
I tell
but
you what,
he's excellent.
I know there are moments in games when he looks like he's not running flat out, so we say. But when there was a chance last night to try and win the game in the last 20 minutes, he was leading the charge, and he was still doing it even with 10 men. I mean, it killed him when we went to 10 men. You could see both him and Giroud had a couple of minutes where they visibly had slumped down because they were putting in a massive effort to try and win the game last 10 minutes. And
He
then
did-
someone does that and
he
gets
looked a bit
off.
bemused against Coventry. What the hell
Why
am
am I in this?
What the hell am I
Why
doing?
am I
here?
even here? Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
fair point.
Why
yeah.
have 60,000 people come? I
Yeah.
mean, they can't believe it, can they?
Yeah.
They can't believe it.
FA Cup.
We're mad for it, mate. We're mad for it. I don't know how many other clubs can pull 60,000 for a League One side in the full.
Coventry did well
on a Friday
bringing-
night in the rain.
Coventry
We
did
can.
well bringing down their lot. It was horrible. I don't want to play on a Friday again.
9,000. A little mention. Coventry. There were two moments in each half where we were invited to join in applause and stand up, and they all held up signs saying when or why or something.
Why was one, and what was the other one?
When.
Right.
It's all about them having to play in Northampton, and
They
whoever
can't get in their own ground.
owns the club has
Seesaw it
messed
out.
it up so much, and they can't play at the Rico.
Shame, really.
It's chronic.
Yeah.
You know, and they were in the top division for how many years? 30 odd years. Me and Keith went to Highfield Road once, couldn't find the car.
Great journey
couldn't
back.
find the car. We won 2-0. Limpar, 2 goals from Limpar. And I remember another game at Coventry.
Well, you remember the semi-final of the Cup when we beat Liverpool? Brian Talbot.
I do remember I wasn't there.
Oh, I went to that
There's
one.
another game at Coventry where I stood down behind the goal, and there was a ginger-haired constable from the Coventry Constabulary who stood directly in front of me for the entire match. I mean, did absolutely no patrolling up and down the
With his
touchline
hat
and
on?
moving,
With
with
his
his
hat
hat on, staring with a 1,000-yard stare, with me and the other people around going, "Can you move about a bit, mate? Oi, mate! Oi, mate!
Ignored.
Oi, mate! We can't see anything. Can you move about a bit?
He's thinking Cockney
Oi,
wankers.
mate! You ginger, beep! Ginger, beep! Beep! Unbelievable abuse! And I'm talking about someone who's about as far away as you are now from me.
All right, with his
I mean,
back.
he was,
with his
no,
back to you.
looking at us.
Looking at you.
Looking at us.
And he would just.
Stood there taking abuse. Stood there for no reason at all other than to wind up Arsenal support. We won the game.
We won the game. Great.
won
You
the
couldn't see very well in that bit anyway. When Brian Talbot scored that winning goal in the game, I couldn't see it at all.
Good header. Who's that? Stapleton put it in?
Do
Did
you
one
know
of
what?
their players tread on the ball or something, and Stapleton just chipped it in?
It was the fourth game where it was at
Yes.
semi-finals, and I went to all four.
Did you?
I went to all four. That's because I used to do that. It was ridiculous. It was back in the day. I didn't go to 5 Sheffield Wednesdays though. I only went to a couple
First
of them.
one was at Hillsborough.
Hillsborough, then
0-0.
Villa Park.
2 games at Villa Park, was it?
One where we were winning from the first minute and they equalised in the last minute.
Alan Sunderland scored.
Whiteside,
1-1.
I think, got the equaliser. And then there was another
Not
game.
Whiteside, he was Man United.
Yeah, it was Man United. Oh, what you talking about?
Liverpool.
Liverpool. Oh, it was Liverpool. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It was Doug Leash.
Ugly.
And then I can't remember the third game at all. There was a game that I
There was
went
a game
to,
in the middle.
and then we beat
Because
them.
they were all in the space of a few days, weren't they?
10, 12 days. We're
And-
talking about 4 games in 11 days. We had 4 games against one team in the
And
same
we had to
competition.
play Juventus twice in the semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup.
Those were the days.
And in the middle of all that, we had to play at White Hart Lane
With a squad of 13 men.
with the reserves.
40 men.
2 days before we played Juve, phoned up Tottenham and said, "Can we move it?" They said no, because they thought they might beat us. Beat them anyway.
We
Won
should
all
show
those
the boys-
games.
we should
Got to
show-
the end of the season, lost the final, both finals without scoring. And I remember there was a cartoon in the Standard, And it had all Arsenal players asleep on the pitch, on crutches, lying down, and they're playing something like, I don't know, the Chelsea pensioners or 11 or something like that, right? And Terry Neal's there going, we just want to see if we can win one more game.
And then they
lost two league games as well, right at the end.
5-0 and didn't even qualify for the UEFA Cup. that was the last game. We lost 5-0, I think, at Wolves or Middlesbrough, one of them two.
Middlesbrough, yeah.
And we didn't qualify for Europe. And that was the end of our season. 69 games, nothing achieved.
70 games. 70 games, because we played the Charity Shield as well.
Oh, you can't, all right.
And which we lost. And we lost 2 finals, 1 on penalties. Didn't qualify for Europe. On our knees. I was literally on my knees in tears. Having wept at Wembley Park Station. And then wept on my knees.
Got abused.
In my house. And then Liam Brady went and signed for
Went
Juventus.
and signed and left, didn't he?
So anyone who's got the ump about drawing at Southampton, top of the league,
Can we get some
have a load
perspective?
of that.
go see me in my office.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. And we played a lot of games. A lot more games we're playing this
With the
season.
same 11.
I've got a horrible
different, isn't it?
flashback.
Only John Devine never played.
John Devine. There's a name I haven't heard for a long time.
At the Coventry game, I did get a flashback. We're walking out of the ground, you saw Mickey Quinn there. It reminded me of
How big is he now?
the free. Well, I
Same
spent,
size as he was when he was playing.
I spent that game. I think it was the first day of the season, and I couldn't get a ticket. And I was outside the ground listening on the radio at Highbury, and Mickey Quinn scored 3 against us.
Yeah, I
You
wasn't
two were
at
probably
that.
inside.
there.
I wasn't at that.
Yeah, I went there.
3-0, wasn't it? First day of the season, or first home game, or something like that.
It was early on.
Yeah, I wasn't at that. I was away somewhere abroad.
There's a lot more Mickey Quinn now. I can't believe he scored 3, mate.
No, he couldn't.
Anyway, we've got an incredibly tough little run. And then we've got 3 easy games. And then we've got Chelsea away, Tottenham away, Man City home, Bayern Munich away and Everton away. It's something like that, in that order. I mean,
That's what champions
we've
are made
got
of, Stoney.
an incredibly tough few
It
months.
is a very,
If we
very
get to the end of March and we're still in contention for a competition, I'll take that. I really will. Seriously, any competition, I don't care. But I
So
want
really, then, of these 4, we want to win the FA Cup tie, then.
the
don't we?
the FA Cup title is probably the most realistic, but I do believe we can win the league if we just
Win all of our
concentrate.
games.
Win all of our games, and Man City don't score another 800
sign
goals.
someone. Sign someone.
Sign someone, we can
2
win the
days to
league.
go.
We're not going to get Kabay, are we?
We're not getting Kabay, but we'll get Draxler and we'll get someone else. Apparently, there's 2 in the
Draxler
pipeline.
can't play.
Morata, has that gone?
Is that the Madrid?
The
I
Madrid,
suspect-
Jovetic was the other one, wasn't it?
No, Teo was the other one. Teo from Barcelona.
Oh, the winger.
Tello.
Teo.
Oh yeah,
Teo,
Andy, I
come
know.
on.
I know.
But
Stoney.
supposedly,
So I was being culturally insensitive. there, I
supposedly
do apologise.
Wenger was going out to watch him play, but he wasn't. He was coming back from somewhere when he was spotted.
The
at
Barcelona
Sky.
guy.
He was off to get some olives.
Go get some olives and some Manchego cheese.
Yeah.
Manchego. I don't know about Teo. I don't know that's going to happen. I suspect with Morata that Real Madrid are asking for £5 million or something. aren't
For a
they?
loan?
Probably, yeah. That's probably
What?
what's going on
You
there.
can't borrow £5 million just to borrow him,
Yeah.
and plus pay his wages.
Like Liverpool did with, when everyone was after Shaheen. Remember that? And Liverpool gave him £5 million. And
Oh, is
then
that
he
what
turned up
happened?
and he couldn't handle the Premier
He was
League.
rubbish, as it turns
Couldn't
out.
handle the pace of the league at all.
Right.
So hardly played and went back to Germany, I think.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we need to get someone in. That is the point. We
So
definitely
Palace are on the rise. They are tough to beat, hard working.
We should have enough to beat Palace at home.
So
Let's
we have
be
to
fair.
take them to the cleaners.
1-0 last minute. I don't give a shit at this point. I
happy
just
with that
want to
script?
win. I genuinely we just need to get 15 wins. It's not impossible.
You don't want much, Stoney, do
15
you?
wins on the bounce, something that's never been done in the club's history.
We are the best team. We have had the best record in 2013, and in terms of the running, we had the best record of any team last year. This is our time now.
This is it then.
This is it.
It's back on.
And it was never off.
never
I'm
off.
sorry, it was never off. They know they can. So, and we know they can as
They
well.
know they can. They're sure they can. All right, I'll see you Sunday.
All right.
See you, mate.